iRock Radio, the world headquarters of rock. It's Mike Karolyi here at News Channel 8 in New Haven with our very special guest, Laura Hutchinson. How are you?
Hi, Mike. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
So this is surreal for us. We're radio people. I've been in radio forever, and I rarely spend time in a television studio, but we come in, and this is very impressive here. Do you get excited when you come to work and you see all the cameras and the screens and the whole thing? It's an exciting way to go about a career, isn't it?
You know, it is really nice in the morning to walk into a well-lit studio that is like a little mini city where everyone's just running around. It's the middle of the night when we come in, so most people are sleeping. And I do have to say there's something really nice about the lights, the camera, the action, just kind of the energy in the middle of the night. You know, you try not to get too routine about the whole thing because there was a time when you were a kid and it was very exciting. And you do kind of have to remind yourself, like, this is still very exciting.
Yeah, sometimes you want to take a step back and say, wow, look what I'm doing, you know?
Yeah.
I was talking to my son this morning. He's like, I don't want to go to school. And I'm like, listen, we have certain responsibilities in life. He goes, yeah, but you get to go and be on the radio all day. And I'm like, well, I happen to be in a profession that I really like, you know, and maybe you will have the same thing. And I hope so. And I mean, that's a big part of it, isn't it? Doing something you love.
You have to do something that you love. You have to be in a job that makes you happy. And when it doesn't make you happy anymore, you have to kind of analyze what you have going on. But if this makes you happy, then I think we're doing even better than a lot of people, you know?
So what made you want to get into news, television, and broadcasting?
You know, growing up in Hamden, I remember sitting with my parents watching the news, and there was something very exciting about it. I thought breaking news was exciting. I thought the light stories were funny, and there was something about the way the news team was interacting with one another that I just loved. I saw a team there, kind of like how a basketball team is a team and a cheerleading team is a team. You know, I saw a group of people having a lot of fun and talking about something important, but really enjoying themselves while they were doing it. And the whole thing just really grabbed me. And actually, I grew up watching News 8.
Well, I was going to say it, and I didn't want to sound corny about it, but I grew up listening to WCCC, and eventually I got to work there for 28 years. That was a dream of mine. That was kind of cool that it played out that way. So for you, growing up in Hampton, this is it right here, right?
This is it. You're looking at it.
Tell me about your first day at News Channel 8. What was that? What were your feelings like? You know, I know you had done television before. You'd been working a while, but your first day here, what was that like for you?
It was like nothing I can even put into words because I had wanted to come here, and I'll be truthful, there were a few failures along the way because I'd been trying, you know, and when I finally had gotten this great opportunity to come here and walk through these doors and meet my co-anchors, Keith, Teresa, Gil. Really, I met them actually my first day on air. It was a day that I will never forget. It was so exciting, and it was just something that I knew I would never forget, and I just, you know, wanted to take it all in at that moment.
So you grew up in Hamden, and this is your 1-year anniversary or thereabouts, right? You've been here about a year now.
Yes, I have.
That's well, congratulations. Yeah, well, time does fly, doesn't it?
Yes.
It really is amazing. What are your favorite topics to cover when you're doing the news? Are there stories that you enjoy telling more than others, or certain genres? What is it?
You know, I have a love-hate with politics. I do find
Apparently everybody does.
Yeah, I do find it very interesting. I think government and the way our country works is fascinating. So I do actually find that to be very interesting. I never get bored with soldier homecomings. Those are the ones that get me every time. So whenever we have those positive, you know, you need to have those sprinkled into a newscast. You know, those never get old. But really, I think what's wonderful about news is that it's never the same.
Right.
So to sit here and tell you exactly what I love to report on, I could give you general, but I think what I love about it is it's always different. There's always something new to talk about.
As a journalist, you're not really supposed to give your opinion, right? You're reporting a story. Are there times where it's difficult to keep your feelings and opinions inside and just report the facts or the story as is? Is that frustrating sometimes?
Sure. You know, I think that, you know, we are sort of trained to remove ourselves from what we're doing and remove ourselves from what we're feeling and do the job at hand. And that's something that we are trained to do. But there have been some tough moments, and I'm sure you know any of these big news stories that stand out to you, you know, Newtown, the Boston Marathon. There have been moments that I've gotten in the car and, you know, either had a little breakdown and cried on my way home, or, you know, I just realized that what I was just talking about, it's really not routine. This is something that's really going on in the world, and we do remove ourselves while we're on the air. But at the end of the day, we are real people, and we do have feelings. And yeah, there are some times, even during the newscast, that it's, you know, you're really thinking about what you're saying and it resonates. And sometimes you could see it on your face. The stories that are sad, and there are times it goes the other way and something is very funny and we really can't stop ourselves from laughing.
I'm sure.
Because that's just the way it goes.
Tell us about your schedule. I mean, doing Good Morning Connecticut, you have to get up very early.
Yes.
So is it tough to do all that, or tell us about your day?
The hardest part of the day is when the alarm clock goes off, for sure. I try to get up around 1 o'clock and live a normal, so to speak, life. I try to get a workout in, actually, before.
Wow, really?
Because like most people, you know how you crash after a work day?
Sure.
I'm the same way, even though it's the afternoon and you should be, you know, ready to go in, you know, the afternoon. I still am exhausted. So I try to get up and work out and, you know, get here for 3 o'clock, and it's very busy through the newscast. I mean, hours go by in what feels like 5 minutes, you know? And then I report. I do a lot of school visits. You know, we have a lot of outside responsibilities that we like to do. I call them responsibilities, but they're actually a lot of fun. You know, we get to go to charity events and dinners and things like that. So it's kind of the day that's never the same. No 2 days are the same.
It's kind of surreal that you say, well, you get up at like 1 o'clock in the morning, 1:30 or whatever. I'm going to sleep at that time. So I'm trying to put myself into your schedule, and it doesn't fit. It's like I'm the opposite of you.
Yes, sometimes I'm putting my trash out and everything, like how people do that in the morning. I'll do that while I have like rollers in my hair. And if my neighbors look out, they just think we're crazy.
Nobody's out and about that time of day, right? You know, everybody's sleeping or getting ready to or whatever. So tell us about your time here at Channel 8 and what you see in 2017 for you and what you hope to accomplish and what you see the year being like for you.
Sure. You know, one of my favorite questions as I've sort of gone through my career is, you know, people asking, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And I always used to say, I see myself actually anchoring mornings in Connecticut. I've always had a passion for mornings, and I've always hoped to be at this TV station. And it feels so refreshing to be here and say, I really just see myself being happy. And I hope that that is the case. I feel that way today, and I hope in the next year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, I hope I'm still happy. And, you know, every day we just try to work harder and be better and hope that our audience is liking what we're doing. And that's kind of our goal every single day.
Sure. That's pretty cool. It's been good getting to know you, but we have a feature we want to do with you.
Okay.
60 seconds with. I'm going to ask you a bunch of random questions, and you just throw out whatever answer comes to mind. We'll see how many questions we can get through.
Oh, gosh.
You up for it?
I'm up for it.
All right. We'll give that a shot next, right here on iRock Radio, the world headquarters of rock.